Okay, they're already trying to block me out here. I just realized that the reason why they are that they're setting things up here with my girlfriend and me for making it look like I'm delusional. Like in other words, I'm delusional about my girlfriend breaking up with me. I'm delusional that my girlfriend has been a witness to very much here. I mean, that's just insane. That's absolutely balls to the walls, a lie, and absolutely opposite of reality. And the point is, I've been pointing out on cassettes and video that my real attitude is very different than how Horvat has misportrayed me by misusing technology anger on me out in public. And furthermore, if you were to ask my girls about my viewpoint and attitude, uh, as I was working on my first book, it was only positive and more positive, of course. We were all that way. We thought this was going to end. We didn't count on my first book and emails to agencies being affected heavily. So this is very, very important. And I finally posted a video here speaking of this. And of course, I'm bringing it up on cassettes anyhow. And the point here is uh, they're interrupting. Hang on. The point here is now it looks like they're trying to change things. And this has been a point I've made throughout cassettes for a long time. It looks like they only just realize the significance of this. That's it exactly. Because they're way late on quote fixing this. You hear me bringing up on cassettes, and keep in mind these cassettes go back a long ways in some cases. But you hear me bringing up, look at my real viewpoint and attitude. Horvat's out there standing out beside us the very next day after misusing technology heavily for traumatizing all of us. And all three of us knew that technology had been misused heavily for traumatizing us. This is an important point. And then the next day or 2 days later, Horvat's out on the sidewalk next to me and my daughter. And you hear me pointing out, well, if I was delusional and believe that Horvat is doing this, but it's not real, which is the real point. The real story is that it is real. They really have done this, and she's out there. And the point is, I'm not responding. But you hear me saying on cassettes, well, if what Horvat's selling that I'm delusional and I believe that she's doing things when she isn't, the point was, then why am I not getting angry with Horvat, when she's standing out next to us? And the point of that was, and then take a look at how I'm getting closer and closer to get my agency information done. And then Horvat affects me, has me put a sign in the window saying, Horvat, you'll be caught for murder. And that was all about tricking the creepo and discrediting me so that they don't look at an email I was preparing for them about when they came out the first time and I was affected heavily in front of their face. Horvat and officers couldn't have that email getting out, so they discredited it. And they bumped it out. I was going to say, getting back to the original point here. Um, let's see. Give me a moment, folks. I need 10 to 15 seconds. Hang on. Maybe. Um, they just made it worse. Hang on. Right. So the point is, if you start looking at this from the ground up and start thinking about this logically, ask yourself, what is my attitude and viewpoint going to be if this is all real and true? If it's as simple as agents and agencies looking at the information and speaking to my witnesses, I'm telling you it's finished. They're absolutely caught, and they're in a lot of trouble here. What do you think my viewpoint's going to be? I'm only going to be increasingly positive and happy here because this is all about to be done and finished, period. Of course. And I began pointing this out, so now it looks to me like they're trying to hide this. And what they're trying to do instead is to make it look like my girlfriend is being her normal self. Obviously, this is what Horvat's selling behind the scenes. This is an absolute total lie. It is opposite of reality to a very large extent here. Yes, my girlfriend is tired of all of this shit. So am I. But the point is how she is being. Her emotional states, her attitude, even her viewpoint here is very different than how it would be if she were not being affected heavily with technology. I've seen her quite literally. She can't remember things from the week before. And in regards to some things, she was remembering things absolutely opposite. Just amazing. It's just surreal. And the reason why Horvat did the setup uh, within the last week here, I would say, um, they had me saying, well, my girlfriend was doing stalking. In reality, she's being affected heavily. And then they affected me and got me to say my girlfriend's doing stalking. And so I know based on their setup that they are affecting Monica and saying it is Monica's viewpoints, attitude, emotional states. That's absolutely false, guaranteed. And the next point from there is that I mean, how much sense does it make that my girlfriend would throw in the towel when I'm 99% of the way there? You can forget it. The other end of it is, I plan on going back if German agencies are not intelligent enough to wake up here and take a look at the information. If they do not, then obviously I'll go back, and that's been all about catching. Point is, I will be going back anyhow if they do not look. Now, do you understand? Horvat needs this as a cover story. That's the point. And based on them doing this, they affected me and got me to say, well, my girlfriend was doing stalking. I realized, well, they're lying about my girlfriend being affected with technologies. They're saying that's real and hers. And because they're in a lot of trouble in regards to May and June of 2012. They absolutely lied about that. And that's been one of the reasons why I never let go of this idea that of course Horvat is breaking up my family, and why. Horvat's hiding all sorts of things here. And that's really why I've looked at this as a worst case scenario, because Horvat affected my girls heavily, took the technology all the way off of them. They knew, of course, that they were affected heavily and extremely. Of course they did. And they sold it to my neighbor as I was trying to tell my girls that they're being affected with technology when they were not. That does not even begin to be true, and that's what Horvat sold to the big cat. You understand? So, so I know that Horvat's affecting my girlfriend. For right now, she's being affected all the time, and Horvat's lying about it behind the scenes. And they they affected me and got me to say she was doing stalking, and I realized, well, the whole reason why they did this whole setup is to sell that I'm delusional and like I'm in denial about my girlfriend breaking up with me. No, I know my girlfriend's being affected. I know she's being affected heavily. I've seen her memories be absolutely have false memories planted. Not only that, she's not remembering other things at all. And that's simply because they haven't had the time to plant false memories in regards to those other things yet. That's the real story. I know them. I've watched them for years on end, and I know how this works. They're just covering their bases as quick as they can, and they've got a lot that they have to lie about and manipulate. They're preparing for all sorts of things here, and so they just did the easiest thing. They're just blocking out some memories. I tried to get my girlfriend on tape. I asked her, do you remember this and this? She said yes. A week later, I'm trying to get her on tape, and she only remembers one of them. Go figure. And the one that was the most damning, she didn't remember. Again, go figure. And so what Horvat's doing is she wants to break up my family and just take a piss on agents and agencies by selling it as being real, and hide the fact that I will be going back to America to make sure they're caught. German agencies don't investigate. And then from there, Horvat will affect my girlfriend even more, and no doubt they will be affecting me back in America. I have no doubt about it. They showed me about some of the computer programs they have set up for affecting me while the FBI has me wiretapped. And they're saying to me, look at how it'll look from their viewpoint. They won't even believe it. Horvat and our officers were saying to me, they're just going to think you're delusional, and it's going to look like how we've been selling it anyhow. And they showed me some of their computer programs, and they're really smart. So anyhow, that's it. This battery's running out.